Today I'm finally well enough that I can do some work on my Jeep. So it's a long overdue headlight upgrade and I gotta get that axle fixed. So upgrading headlights has been on the back burner for a while, and the last time I inspected the Jeep I noticed a rock chip in the right hand headlight. So wouldn't you know it, I get an email from the folks at Nilight and they say, hey, have a look at our website. Is there a product that you'd like to use that maybe you could feature or show on your channel? So hold and behold, they got headlights. It's all in the timing, isn't it? So that's the plan today. Upgrade the headlights and fix that axle that I've been meaning to do now for about 2 months. Now I have to admit, as far as upgrades go, this is crazy easy. This will take like 20 minutes maybe. Perfect thing to do on a rainy Saturday afternoon. So Nilight sent me these 7-inch headlights, and they'll fit my TJ, they'll fit a JK as well, and a motorcycle apparently. But they're going on the TJ. Now quite honestly, there's not much in the box. Little bit of packaging. These aren't really instructions, they're just giving you a little bit about the product. The adapter connectors for the JK, and 2 headlights. These plug in directly into the TJ harness. And if you were to use them in a JK, you just use this handy dandy adapter, plug it in, and then this goes into the JK harness. So at first look, I love the look of them. That darkened look is kind of nice. Goes really well with a black accent on my Jeep. Heavy duty aluminum cooling fin and housing. Seal connector. Yep, these will do. Now, these stock style headlights have always been dim. A couple of candles, really. So it's been on my list for quite a while. So where we need the headlights most is in the winter when it's dark at 4:30 here. The light bar has always provided the lighting for us when we're getting into camp late. But I'll be honest, when it comes to upgrades, I think that's the one that just wasn't worth the value. It wasn't worth the money. Now, I do think that extra lighting is important, on the trail especially. But on the highway or on the streets, it's unusable. So I think a headlight upgrade would have been a better choice at that time. But that's okay. Better late than never, I guess. Now, keep in mind it's July right now, and we don't get much for darkness at this time of year. It's almost 11 o'clock at night before it's dark enough for headlights, and by 4:30, you can almost see without them. So it's going to be difficult to do a comparison. So plan is, I'll do a comparison here in the shop with all the lighting off. I have some footage where you can see the old headlights in action. And I guess I'll go for a drive sometime in the middle of the night so I can get that footage for you. Oh, what I'll do for some video shots. But then again, nobody's ever accused me of being too smart. But I'm pretty sure you want to see it. Now this is so simple and easy, I don't even think I need to open the hood for this. First thing I need to do is remove the 3 screws, T15 Torx. Now it's tempting to use power tools here, but quite frankly, I'd avoid that. But if you are going to use power tools, at least back off the screws, break them free by hand first, just to make sure you don't strip them. And these are quite loose already. Now 3 more screws to remove the headlight retaining ring. Now be easy with these, they're easy to drop. Oh, did I say 3? There's 4. There we go. Now you can reach the connector from this side, but if you're having trouble with it, you can always open the hood and do it from the other side. There you go, 1 old headlight. 1 rattle headlight. There's a piece of broken glass in there. Now the new headlight has this long lead, so super easy to plug in and then to get it in from this side. Now pay attention, there's some locating lugs. And they're there to make sure you have your headlight straight up and down and that your beam is straight. That plug fits nice and tight. Make sure you get the headlight right side up. The DOT SAE stamp goes at the top, and you'll notice the smaller of the 2 lenses is at the top. All right, as it turns out, there's some interference with the headlight bucket. Quick work with a die grinder, that's gonna be easy fix. I'm using a die grinder here with a cutting bit, but I'm pretty sure a Dremel tool would work, and you could probably clearance that with a file as well with a little bit of patience. Now, be careful not to take too much material away. That is one of the mounting screws from the backside that holds the headlight bucket in place, so you don't want to weaken that too much. But it doesn't take much, just a little bit, and that headlight fits in. So now that we have the right clearance, in goes the headlight. Make sure it's indexed properly. You know I'm gonna drop this screw, because it never fails. If I drop one, I'll never find it. Now, I'll be honest with you here. If you're not familiar with the principle of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, maybe you should leave this to the professionals. I'm sure you got this. I must admit, I like how they look. They're smoked or darkened a little bit. They're not like high gloss black, and they don't really stand out. I like this. But I'm just thinking, since I got both headlights, maybe I should do a light test again. Yeah, okay, that's a big difference. Yeah, this side fits without interference, so no need to grind anything away. Now, as far as Jeep upgrades go, I don't think there's anything easier than this. And keep in mind that as long as your headlights were aimed properly in the first place, there's nothing to readjust. It doesn't get any easier than this. It'll be interesting to compare. Jean has JW speaker headlights in her Jeep, and this is a less expensive alternative. But that's okay, it'll be interesting to see the difference. So far I'm very pleased. Keep watching the channel and we'll see if they last as long or if we have any issues, but I'm really pleased with these. I'm very happy with light pattern on the wall. Next test will be out on the road. But first I got an axle to fix. As much as I like the convenience of my electric tools, there's nothing like air tools for power.
Let's drop everything while we're at it.
And we're replacing an axle that is, well, it's done. So the axle flopping around destroyed the seal, which is bad enough, but it also destroyed the housing. So it needs to be replaced. So I have a replacement seal, so that's no big deal. If you're not using these outer axle seals, I highly recommend it. Quite frankly, all the axle has is a dust seal. So that's great for driving down the street, but when you're in mud like we are, muddy water, doing river crossings, these don't hold anything. So those, I don't use. So I use an inner axle outer seal. Not the seal that keeps the fluid in, at the differential end in the middle, at the outer end, at the axle C, if you will, where the axle gets to the steering knuckle. And this is a dual seal that keeps mud and water out of the axle tube. And without this, what ends up happening, which happened in the past with Gene's Jeep actually, is all that debris walks into the tube and gets kind of trapped in there, and then it's abrasive and it starts chewing the inner seal, and it eventually leaked and actually destroyed the axle as well. It cut a groove in the axle. So in my opinion, these are a great investment. Only 50 bucks Canadian, I think, is what it cost me for the pair, and definitely well worth it. Like any seal, lubrication before you install it. So it has 3 O-rings going into the axle, and granted the axle is pretty rough. It's not a machine surface. Mine is unusually rough actually on this Dana 30, so I put a little bit of RTV sealant to help it out here as well, and of course lubrication on any seal before it goes in. Now the key to these seals is that they're greasable. So every time I lube my chassis, I add a couple of squirts of grease to the seal, and the grease goes in between the 2 seals and fills the void in between, and now you have a grease seal to keep the water out. And that's how they work. Highly recommend it. So of course heavy lifting is just not in the cards for me right now, so there's always a way to get things done without exerting yourself. Simple block of wood makes the job so much easier. Just like that. And of course that gets torqued with the torque wrench a little later. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, I suffer from some bouts of insomnia once in a while. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep, so perfect time to go for a road test. Let's go check out these headlights. I really like how these headlights light up the road. You can see very clearly. It has a good reach. I really like these.